What's up? So if I was to give this show out of 5, I would give this a 4.7 out of 5. Now I've watched all the episode 1 to 8, and my goodness, what a show. What a show. I mean, if you loved the Batman, if you loved Colin Farrell in the Batman, and you thought the Penguin was awesome, you have no idea what's waiting for you. You have no idea what's coming. This show is incredible. Now, Colin Farrell, I don't mean to isolate him and go like, oh, he's the best ever and the show was perfect. First of all, there are very many great performances in this movie. Number one, the mother, the old lady who plays the mother. The mother, Oz's mother, she's great in this show. The other thing, there's a character called Sophia who plays a huge role in this particular show. I don't want to spoil it for people, but she's a very important part of the story. And so she's also really good. I loved her performance, except, and that's why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5. There's that 3%, and it has to do with her character specifically. Then there's a character called Vic, who also, in like the first 4 episodes, I was like, okay, it's an okay character. I'm not really convinced by his performance, but goddamn, when you get to the final episodes, like the last 5 episodes, goddamn, he like now comes into life. He also plays a pivotal role, especially in one particular scene. Then there are all these other small characters who gave really good performances. Now, Colin Farrell, damn. Yeah, as I said, if you love the Batman, if you loved what he did in the Batman, dude, or wherever you are, you're not ready for what you're just about to experience, because he took that and became that. Because at first I was like, how is this Colin Farrell in terms of performances? He feels like a proper gangster. He feels like he is who he literally became that character, because you cannot see Colin Farrell in that role. He got totally lost. Number one, with how he looks, obviously the makeup and stuff, but there are small details like the fingers, like the nails. You can actually see the dirt or the whatever after a particular incident. See the dirt in the nails. Apart from the dirt, you can actually, there's a particular scene that you see more than, you know, when you think the makeup, you think obviously the face, right? But there's more to it. It's like the prop and the makeup artist went like, you know what? Let's prove to people that you can actually push it to the limit. There's something they do with the armpit. And I'm like, that is real. That has to be real. The other thing is the way he speaks, because Gotham, which I'm just about to talk about, I'm just about to talk about the world of. There's something in how he speaks. I know we had it in the first movie, and in the first movie you thought that obviously he practiced a lot for these particular scenes, and he doesn't get the whole movie to actually do it, so that must have been easy. But this is throughout the show for the 8 episodes. There's something that he does with how he modulates. What is it? Cadence, how he talks, how he speaks, how he delivers his line, and how he just uses his hands, and how he does that. You know, if you've seen Irishman, if you've seen Goodfellas, there are some actions that look familiar because it feels like an authentic. He feels like an authentic gangster. The way he speaks, I want you to think of Aries Spears impersonating Tony Soprano. That is how Colin Farrell sounds when he's speaking. Anyway, I even went to the point of thinking that this Aries Spears needs to see this. I need to hear what Aries Spears will say about this, because that's what I just kept thinking about. This sounds like Aries Spears doing a Tony Soprano. Now I was absolutely my mind was blown up by is this part. Yeah, everything else is cool, but the eyes, man, the way he communicates with his eyes is amazing, and he's so unpredictable. And based on just how he looks at a character, you know exactly what he's going to do. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. When he's angry, especially during particular moments when he's called something in particular, there's that V that comes in, and you can see just how angry he is. When he's suspicious, the way he squints his eyes, the way he lifts one of his eyelids when he's not sure about what he's doing. When he's amazed, the way his eyes open and you cannot see any creases. I just don't know how they did it, man. There's another thing, when he is like now really super mad, there's a vein that appears on top of his head, cutting across, like up from here up to here. And you wonder, how the hell did they do that to the makeup? Because you can see the big vein popping out. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So Colin Farrell already, if I was to nominate him for an award, he deserves an award for his performance in this particular show. Now, The World. Now, if you loved the Batman and you expect a lot of Batman references, let me put it this way. When the show begins, they do a good job establishing the show without Batman, because they give you a hint of what happened in the movie, but without the Batman element. So it's clear what they're going for, because they're going for the ordinary people. They're going for the normal people, what's happening on the ground. They go outside Batman, they go outside the Bruce Waynes, and they focus on now the normal, ordinary people. And that is pretty impressive. That was really, really good, because at no point, I don't remember any point hearing of a Wayne or seeing a Wayne Enterprise somewhere, unless I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing any Wayne anywhere. I don't remember hearing a Joker laughter somewhere. I don't remember hearing a Harley Quinn. But the idea of just pushing that, the Batman outside the story, I thought that was pretty good. Now, The World, Gotham. The other thing that I liked is that it's not about the city anymore. They give you a good idea of Gotham in terms of the suburbs, in terms of those leafy suburbs where the rich people go to live. And then there are the ghettos. When the floods happen, they are the places that are usually neglected. How did they look like? How were the people surviving over there? You have the rich areas, then you have the poor areas, and they go deep into those poor areas. How do those systems work? And how are people surviving after the floods? Because you also get to go to some decent suburbs, something that you've never seen in a lot of Batman movies. During the day, you get to actually see trees for once. You get to see riverbanks for once. You get to see other ordinary people living in this particular world of Gotham, the way that we've never really seen. So I thought that was pretty cool. Music plays a big role. And it plays a big role in, number one, foreshadowing, because they foreshadow a lot of things using music, and setting up some really emotional moments with some 1 or 2, 3 songs. And the way music is used is, would I call it nostalgia in a way, to actually help drive some themes home. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's not your normal hip hop music. They were very specific about the music. And nothing you hear or see is just for the sake of, let's throw in a good song at this particular point. Let's show a nice clip at this particular time. Everything pays off at the end. Now, as a story, does it work? Oh my goodness. Oz, this character, man. I hated this character, man. I know, it's a villain. This is a villain story, right? And they don't do that thing of taking a villain and make him a good person. No, this is an all-right villain. I mean, he's written so well. He has some of the best monologues, but he talks to someone in such a way that you think that is in it for that person, or they're in it together. He's so charismatic. He's so good at it. That's why I'm saying that Colin Farrell deserves an award for this. He was so good. And he has 2 of the best monologues that I've seen in any gangster movie in a very long time. Thing I liked, the costume designers obviously got everything right, but the set designers, the prop people, the art department, basically, when it comes to the cars, when it comes to the house designs, the interior designs, the props, they got every time period right. There are moments that you don't have to be told that it's a particular period because of what you're looking at. There's so many visual cues that will tell you about a certain time period. You don't have someone tell you, this is a flashback because of what is shown. And then, everything about how the set designers put so much attention into everything that they were creating comes out of the show, because that in some shows and in some movies you're not required to identify the props. Here you do, because of just the amount of details that are put That is including the cinematography, because there are moments you look at a shot and you go like, wow, goddamn, that's a beautiful shot. When you add this and this and then you cut this in, oh, this looks fantastic. There are moments that you find yourself saying that. There are moments that I found myself actually saying that. So yeah, the technical part of the movie, of the show, they actually got a lot of things right. And then I just need to remind you this is a villain story. Yeah, a lot of bad things happen. Yeah. And then we go back to the last episodes where there are confrontations about some things. And yeah, the performances plus what is happening. So what did I not like about this particular show? As I said, Sophia is a very interesting character. She's awesome. She's fantastic. I loved her performance. The actress usually uses her eyes a lot because she has like these super beautiful eyes. And as you go to the last episodes, she does a lot of what are they called, mascaras, and she looks fantastic. I thought her eyes were pretty effective. Now her story, her arc, I thought it was predictable for a normal villain. I mean, after something happens, kind of know what is going to happen, you know. After something particularly, after a scratch is revealed, some scratches are revealed, you go like, okay, so if that is that, then this is probably going to happen and this is probably going to happen. And that happens actually. And I was like, it's okay. But when they take the story at the end, I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. But there are some things that they did with the character in one particular episode. I was like, that was a bit predictable. It was a bit too predictable. And the other thing, her character, you know, this is the modern world. If you watch any Netflix movie or any other streaming services show, they always find a way of injecting this, their own, do I call them identity? No, I don't. The modern day issues that we have, they kind of like pushing those modern day challenges that we have. It's like they want to tell something. It's like they have a message for their, it's like they have a message to say in the productions. And so you get that here, like 10% in particularly 2 episodes. In fact, there's an episode that actually rolled my eyes because of what they did. I was like, please, are we doing this again? Come on, man. But that was like in a span of 2 minutes, and then now they went back because most of it is super good, but then you'll have a bubble of that, and then it will sound off. Sound off, why? Because they've established this parallel world. So they've created this parallel city that works in its own way, that has its own ecosystems. So there are a lot of things that are avoided, and so you feel like it's so it's not one with where we are. So things must have been different there. But then every now and then they pop up those, you know, the same issues that we have in our world, and they do it so much on your face, even with a song. Especially in the last episode, there's something that they did, and I went like, come on, you did not need to do that, because already the show was perfect. The show was absolutely perfect, but you did not need to do that because it's not needed. You've established a very interesting universe, a universe that is free of this. And in another episode, I was like, okay, you do not need to say that because, again, you've already established this world where things kind of work different from where we live in our modern world. So I thought those two, three things actually took away the 0.3, because I said 4.7, so that those two things took away the 0.3. But outside that, actually you think of it, if you have to say out of in percentage, it's 95% of it works, then 5% you'll have those bubbles of those messages, which I don't think is necessary, especially when you have something as good as this. You don't need to say anything because this is a villain story. So the villain story for me was the best part. Actually, anytime Colin Farrell popped up on the screen, I was like, here we go again, and I was having a great time. But generally, this is a solid show. Colin Farrell, fantastic job. All the other actors, also fantastic job. Vic was a surprise. The mother was absolutely impressive. I thought her performance was like super duper. Basically, that's it. Remember to wait for this show. It's going to be super awesome. And what you see in the first 2 episodes, trust me, that's just establishing some things, especially with the performances, because some performances may feel slow with characters like Vic and Sophia. You may go like, I don't know where this is going. But at a certain point, it will kick into gear. And then by the time you get to the 6th, 7th episode, your jaw will be on the floor. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I shall see you on the next one. Adios.